Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm part of the DMD team. And today I have the pleasure of interviewing Judy Lin. Judy's the CEO and founder of Digital Marketing Doctor based in Carlsbad, California. And today we're just going to ask her some questions on digital marketing and how it can improve your business. So, hi, Judy. Welcome. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Stephanie. Thanks for having me.
Sure. So, just to get started, how long have you been involved in digital marketing services?
So I've been in this career for about 20 years now. I started working for internet companies and other digital agencies. Then I started my own in the 2000s.
Oh, great. So for 20 years, you've probably had quite a bit of different clients. Can you talk a little bit about what types of clients you've worked with? What types of clients have been looking for digital marketing services over the years?
Sure. So in the last decade or more, I've mainly focused with medical doctors and mainly in the Western medicine arena. So I worked for orthopedic surgeons, pain management, eye surgeons, stem cell, sports medicine, the whole gamut in the Western medicine realm. And then I decided to work more towards functional medicine, a Dallas Chinese medicine doctor, more of the holistic practitioner side now. But I would say healthcare for a good 15 years. And for corporations, I've worked for e-commerce, for oil, for contact call centers, for AI, artificial intelligence, a really large vast of different kinds of clientele there in the corporate and startup. Yeah.
Oh, great. So I'm sure healthcare and then the corporate world probably have different needs. When a
Yes.
client first comes to you, and I guess if it depends on who they are, what is usually the first task that you try to tackle for them through digital marketing?
Sure. So most of the time when a new client comes to us, we do a full audit. So we have a couple people on the team that do a technical SEO audit to see where they're at with rankings, with their traffic, with their conversions. And we take a look at the website to see if it's compelling, if it's user friendly as far as the user experience. So I would say initially we do a full-on assessment first before bombarding them with one, digital campaign and strategy after another. And we could see pretty quickly what is missing or lacking during the audit. We can see, let's say, maybe the website needs some tweaking as far as the design or the copy, or it's a little too busy. I think sometimes people try to squeeze too much content and there's too many tabs when most people just want to come in. They want to just go straight to what they're looking for and not waste time looking for the area that is going to give them that information that they need.
So it sounds
That's user experience. So,
okay. So
yes.
it sounds almost like simplicity is key here.
Yes, it is. And you want to avoid bounce rate as well, because the whole goal is to grab the attention and to want to keep them on the site, but also answer what they're looking for. So,
And I've heard that a lot, where some
yeah.
of the biggest complaints when someone goes to a website is no one's returning my comments,
Or phone
and
calls.
phone calls. Yeah, and it's funny. I hear some businesses say they feel like they've spent a lot of money on marketing, but
Yes.
they don't feel like they haven't gotten anything. What do you say to that? What can they do through digital marketing that might be different?
Yeah, no, that's an excellent question. Thanks, Stephanie. Yeah, I hear that a lot as well. That's probably one of the number one questions is I've spent thousands of dollars on marketing. I haven't gotten anything. Well, my first response is they probably wasn't doing the right campaigns, to be quite frank, is if you're spending that amount of money, but no one is monitoring it, managing it, watching the conversions, watching the process of the campaign, and it's kind of like on autopilot. You just keep spending the money, but no one's tweaking or watching or observing or making any sort of edits. That's a problem. And they're still expecting some level of results and conversions. And how can that be? Of course, if it's a great setup, you got the right ad copy, right landing page, the right budget, the right creatives, yes, you can. I mean, that's the goal, is to drive the conversions. But if it's not performing at the level that you're looking for, then it's time to analyze what is happening and troubleshoot what is happening. And unfortunately, I think with some of the businesses, they are very reliant on the person that set up the campaign, the digital marketer or the agency, and they're not really checking in or communicating with a client. It happens to be on autopilot a lot after a few months, but there's multiple ways of going about it if it's not successful. So my approach is, if it's not successful, let's say in a Facebook ad or in content marketing or video or podcast, then you change directions. That's kind of common sense. If it's a very successful campaign, you optimize that, you bring in more budget, and you want to optimize that as high as possible. If it's not working, is showing low traffic and any kind and clicks and performance CPC, then you rethink, is this something that I want to invest further money in? Or you pull the plug. Usually I pull the plug if I feel like this is not going to be effective any longer, and I try other campaigns. But that's the whole purpose of digital marketing, is you have maybe 20, I call it like bowling lanes. You have 20 lanes running of different types of digital campaigns, and you got to evaluate and keep watch of each performance of each campaign. And ultimately, every client wants revenue at the end of the month and conversions, and that matters. So does brand authority and awareness.
That's great. So it's definitely sounds like there's a lot of moving parts. It's not
Yes.
just, you can't just throw some posts on social media and everyone will come. There's a lot more to do than that.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's an art. I mean, digital marketing is definitely an art. And, it's funny. Some people think you could read a bunch of books and online courses and you're ready to roll. It doesn't really work that way. It might work for, a month or two, but it really takes experts that have been in the business for at least 5, 10, 20 something years to really delve deep into what you're doing and have the expertise to lead and know what they're doing and discern. So yeah, there's definitely a skill set behind it.
And does that mean, and you maybe you've seen this with your clients, does that mean, so this is an ongoing process when you help a client with digital marketing, it's an ongoing relationship that you have?
Yeah, so typically a client comes in and we work with them the first year, and I would say typically it's between 2 to 7 years that we work with clients. They stay with us pretty long. And it's because we have that customer experience, we have that personalization of that clientele that they like. And we don't really, I personally don't do the one size fits all template and then replicate. You could do that on a base level, so to speak. I call it the foundational level. And that's just to get you to the starting line, right? And then after you are running and you're in a rhythm, then we start personalizing all of your digital campaigns based on your targeted audience, which verticals you're after. So as an example, let's say we're doing a Facebook ad or we're doing a Google PPC campaign. We would produce the creatives, the copywriting, the landing pages, and the keywords, and pretty much the entire portfolio that segments towards that vertical that you're after. So it's very personalized, even with the copy. So every word that we write matters. And those type of campaigns usually are the most successful because it's very customized.
Great. So, out of all those examples you gave, if you had to choose one thing to do in digital marketing, what would you say gives the biggest bang for your buck, especially maybe with clients just starting out?
Sure. So I would definitely say in the whole gamut of digital marketing, search engine marketing, SEM is what it's called, is you got multiple disciplines like SEO, PPC, paid media, videos, podcasting, content marketing, blogs, social media, it goes on and on, backlinks. I would say what I would do the most of is videos and podcasts, because I know that videos and podcasts, they index faster than content on Google search. And partly it's because it's media, it's going to be watched more, it's more compelling, rather than who wants to read like tons of text and it takes 20 minutes, where you watch a video for 2-3 minutes and you get the essence of the brand, you get the essence of what they're doing really quickly. And it's just much more compelling, and it's three-dimensional, it's a media form. I definitely would say video and podcast gives you a lot more room and more airtime to articulate what your brand and what your services are. People can look at you just like this video. They can look at you, they can feel you, they can sense, they can sense, is this person that I want to do business with? Do they know what they're talking about? So I say videos and podcasts is the biggest bang.
Great. So, who needs digital marketing then? If everything is very very intimate, very face to face, what kind of clients do you think really need it?
I think everyone that has a business needs it. I mean, pretty much. I mean, if you have a business, if it's a startup, it's a restaurant, e-commerce, you're a big corporation. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a startup medical practice or Fortune 500, whatever. Everyone needs marketing, because that is pretty much your what I call it, like kind of like your breathing passageway. Because if you're not advertising out and demonstrating your services and your product offering, who they don't even know who you are. I mean, they got to know who you are online. So let's say if I'm typing, let's say as an example, sushi restaurants in Carlsbad, but your restaurant isn't even indexing in the search results, unless you're already super popular and you're getting tons of referral, you don't exist in my mind, because
Right.
I can't find you anywhere. And
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a great point. So, I'm sure you've heard this. What would you say to someone who's they're just afraid to spend the money on marketing? Because, like you said with the sushi example, if you don't come up in a search engine, you don't exist. What
Right.
would you say to someone who's afraid of spending money on marketing?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a catch 22. I mean, you say you want to grow and expand your business, but there's no investment at all. I mean, everything in life has an investment of time,
Right.
energy, and commitment and money, especially in a business. It's not like things are handed to you on a silver platter and then your customers are going to come. There's an investment in everything you do, but I would definitely say that it's the way you perceive things. It's not about spending money on advertising or afraid that this is not going to happen. It's a mindset. If you're a business owner and entrepreneur, I would definitely say that most people already understand the concept that you have to spend more money in order to advertise and gain additional network of customers that you would not have had. So, that's just a general concept that I'm giving. But if you do not advertise, you won't get ahead. You might get ahead on hope of someone finds you. It's a hope that they find you, or it's a referral that they may give to you, but you're more in control of what you're doing in advertising when you're the one spearheading it. I mean, if I know I'm going to spend X amount of money, I'm in control of where it's being seen on Google search, on social media, on Vimeo and YouTube, on print. I mean, print's usually good for just like the medical doctors because they have a retail, like an office, but online is your world to show and to advertise to everyone. And the return is always so much greater when you invest in yourself and your own company. And I feel like even people right now are a little scared to spend money during this economy, but this is a time when you do it, because you are planting seeds for the next quarter, and everyone wants to wait and wait. Well, another month goes by and we're in 2024. This is the time to prepare. Now in September, usually people prepare in quarters, right? They prepare in the quarter of the next quarter. And especially with the new year around the corner, you don't want to wait to the last minute and realize in February, oh my gosh, I haven't done anything. I got to hurry up and do it. Well, there's leg work that needs to be done in the production of things like videos, like podcasts, like graphics, like creatives. There's a production cycle that takes time. It's not like I decide one day that I'm going to launch and it's going to be on February 12th. And I'm going to pull that in that day. There's a preparation process. So yes, in everything in life, there's a commitment of time, energy, and money. And so I strongly encourage people to really evaluate where their business is at an honest way and see what they really need and take the time to start building that marketing initiative.
And that's a great point. How it's, you don't just do this overnight.
Right.
A lot of these things take time. So that being said, so what would you say is maybe a hindrance for either you as the marketing expert or your clients when you're doing this marketing process?
I think a lot of people tend to procrastinate. Like when I talk to businesses or prospects, there's this fear of, well, I'm not really ready, or I don't have the funds for it, or whatever it is. But if you talk with a bigger company, they don't think that way at all. I mean, they don't even have that kind of mindset or hindrance, right? Because larger companies, they know that this is fuel, that digital marketing is fuel to obtain more revenue at the end of the month and new clients. That's just a standard way of doing business, and they have multiple campaigns running already. But if you're a startup and you're cautious, I would say the hindrance is not making the jump. Is they're imposing the barrier onto themselves. If you're an entrepreneur, it's pretty common to be able to handle risk. That's, if you're risk averse, then entrepreneurship is probably not for you. So
Right. That makes sense.
I mean, I'm just a little too blatantly honest about that one. But I think a hindrance is that, okay, so that's about the mindset and the way you view how to do business and how to generate income. But the other one is commitment, people want to get here, but they're not willing to take the time, energy, and the work to commit of giving you what you need. So let's say as a client, like you need them to help you write a piece on, I don't know, like omni-channel services or regenerative cell therapy, whatever it is. And they're not taking the time to make the commitment to write that for you, or they just keep blowing it off. You can't help them when they can't help themselves. So the hindrance is make the commitment. If it's partial, it's never going to take off.
Great. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like you said, you can't just put your workshop on Facebook and think 100 people are going to join the
Yeah.
workshop.
Yeah.
There's much more to it than that. Uh, so on the other side, because there's a lot of success with digital marketing, it just takes a lot of work. What do you think the common denominator is that you've seen in the success with your clients?
I think the successful ones, I would definitely say, is that the common denominator is they're not afraid to try new initiatives. They're very open-minded about, okay, let's go ahead and try this LinkedIn marketing. Let's try and do the high domain authority backlinks. They're very open and trying new things to see if it works. And I think that has been an edge for them, because sometimes that new successful campaign could be the golden nugget, and whereas when someone holds themselves back, like, oh, well, this hasn't been proven, or I haven't tried this, you're always going to stay at the same level and frequency of business that you're at, because you're not making any action or movement. And so definitely the successful ones are willing to try new initiatives and know that that is an investment that they're taking upon. And sometimes that investment may be the moneymaker, and they keep going with it and they add the other campaigns. Or if they don't, they just, you can always stop it and make a turn. So yeah, I would definitely say, yeah, the willingness to try new initiatives.
Okay, and I'm glad you mentioned LinkedIn. Is social marketing a big component in your marketing tactics?
Yeah, so social media marketing is a part of SEO, search engine optimization. Social media marketing is a part of search and SEM, search engine marketing. It's not the entire thing. See, I think a lot of people in the mainstream think social media marketing is SEO. No, it's just a sliver of the umbrella of where it is. And it's a part of the campaign, and it helps with the indexing of Google search. It helps with the brand authority and brand awareness. Is it a conversion generator? It depends on what your product is. If it's a physical product, let's say facial cream or something like that, yeah, probably it will do well on social media. If it's a software as a service, probably not as well. Or if it's any kind of service in that realm, or if it's a high ticketed product, it's not going to be because you post one post on Instagram and that's it. It's not going to be like that. It's more of a way to advocate your brand awareness, and it's a way to advocate your search results. And it is good for publicity. And it's great to give, let's say, a product launch or announcement on social media, or to share your culture and your people and your employees. But it is not the end all. There are other multiple campaigns in digital that I think is much more effective. That is just one sliver of the entire whole.
And and I'm glad you brought up some technical terms that I remember when I first started digital marketing. I had no idea what SEO meant, PPC, paid
Yes.
media.
Sorry,
Those are
it was
technical
Stephanie.
terms. So how do you know they're working, especially with clients who you say these terms because we use them, but a client would have they might think SEO is social media, like you said. How, how
Right.
do how do you know they're effective? How do you know it's working for their businesses?
Right. So the team pretty much, they all have different types of what we call analytic tools like SEMrush and the Data Studio, the Google Analytics. They have multiple platforms that they can look, even the Facebook, they have the dashboards and analytics that you can see. We look at all the different types of traffic, the clicks, the impressions, the CPC, the money that is being spent on that campaign. Also, in our case, Gabe puts together Tag Manager, their Google tags on specific pages for conversions. So if someone signs up, we have conversion pages that he tracks. That's how we know that campaign's doing well, is based on signups and conversions. um, the client does not need to know exactly what SEO stands for, or a PPC and paid media. It's like, what is all this? That's my job to translate what that means. So I go to the client and say, hey, the SEO campaign for, let's say, content marketing or the video marketing is blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, they just want to know how much money that they've made in sales revenue. But it's important that they understand what the goal is for each of those campaigns. So like paid media is Facebook ads as one, or anything that you pay ads on, that's paid media. And they will look at the analytics at the end of each month. We will do that as well. And as long as they understand what the ultimate goal is for each of these campaigns, that's all they need to know. Is what is the purpose of that campaign? Why are we doing it this way? Why are we creating all these different landing pages and vertical markets for like e-commerce, healthcare, law, real estate? It's because we're trying to personalize your clientele. We're hitting that targeted audience. So they just need to understand the purpose and why we're doing it. And it's my job to translate the performance.
And it depends probably on who the client is, right? You'd mentioned like
Yes.
a law firm might be different than Chinese medicine, Western medicine versus other healthcare?
Yes. I mean, the thing is, they hired you for a reason, right? I mean, they hired you because they have no time. They don't really want to deal with this technical spark, the technical aspect of digital marketing. They just want to go to you and be the point person, explain what happened. That's it. They don't want to deal with, oh, I need to go check that art copy and that creative and make sure that spelling is correct, or making sure like our color scheme on the logo is correct, that matches our website. They don't want to deal with any of that. They just want to go to you as one point person. They don't want to talk to 10 people on your team either. I mean, they just want to, they want to keep it really simple. And yeah, that's that. They hired you to alleviate pain for them.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that makes sense, especially with branding. I like that you mentioned like colors of logos. They just want to make sure everything looks good and the brand is there, right?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, looking for leads. That's the most important. Is I think, everyone on the team and everyone knows that all the work that we do right now, besides bringing the brand authority and the awareness, brand awareness, is the goal is to help generate new customers and new leads. And that's what they look at the end of the day.
And thinking of leads and leadership, why is thought leadership such a big deal in the marketplace today?
Yes, I've noticed that greatly. Thought leadership is something that I think is a much more sophisticated way of doing business. It's not this push and pull of pitching, pitching, pitching. When you're a true thought leader, you're not really pitching sales, you're attracting them, right? If you're an expert in what you do in education, you don't need to sell. You just need to speak and share your knowledge and share what you foresee, you know, a few years from now. You're sharing the trends of your industry, the products, how technology is going to be used in the workforce. That's the kind of thought leader that we're talking about. It's not someone that is, pitching sales and sending out presentations. They don't need to do that. They're doing the presentations. And so I think thought leadership definitely establishes a level of clout that other people don't have, because there's sales and there's thought leadership. That's a whole different ballgame. And when you show that you have that depth of knowledge and expertise in what you're saying and what you do, they will naturally be drawn to you. And that's that's a major differentiator amongst the masses in the same industry as your competitors.
Okay, makes total sense. Thank you. Well, I guess some of the last questions is just looking at. I'm sure that there have been challenges that your clients have faced with digital marketing. What do you think they are? And then how do you see the future of digital marketing, especially with, I know in today's, like you mentioned, the economy. In today's economy, people aren't spending money like they
Right.
wanted to. They're worried about whether it's, just different things in life. Are those challenges? Are there specific digital marketing challenges you're helping your clients overcome? And how's it affecting the future?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I think everyone knows like artificial intelligence is here and it is a major component in the way you do business. I do find that AI can vastly help you in the right way if you use it correctly. If you asked me this like a year ago, I had a different opinion. But this year I have a better opinion. And I think with Chat GPT and AI, it is an excellent tool to help you save time and to help you open up other ideas that you would not have entertained if you were, let's say, writing a book or writing copy. You can learn from AI in that sense, and you could use the prompts in a very powerful way if you know how to use it. Like you could literally say, like, write me 10 headlines for social media that talks about why functional medicine doctor is a great option versus, Western medicine, and say it in a funny way, or say it, and it will actually prompt in that style. That's what's so beautiful and so intelligent about it. And I think we have to learn how to use AI in a good way and how to use it in our benefit. And I think it will really help with the efficiency of everyone's workload if it's done correctly. But I also have the opposing side where is everything is AI now. We have multiple AI platforms. We have multiple AI sales funnels. It goes on, and it's going to be more and more digitalized and automated, but I don't think it's ever going to be the human interaction and the human relations that we have. That's never going to be replaced. And even in writing, I feel that because I'm a writer personally, and the writing style of a true writer, writing from the soul level, cannot be replaced by AI as well. And I think it's really important to keep that in mind is don't completely get so digitalized that you forget to have human relationships and to provide a more personalized customer experience because you think AI could substitute certain areas. It cannot substitute a human person's voice in any way. So I would say, learn to use AI in an effective, positive way, but keep the human touch in all your client relationships and make sure that that trumps over AI.
Judy, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, Stephanie.